Okay, so today we are going to start the new topic in the very first chapter. So the next topic is escape character. So now we are going to learn about the escape characters in Python. This is very useful in many situations. Let us see one by one what are the different types of escape characters and what is their use. So in Python, the backslash. So this is the backslash, and this is called the escape character. Okay, and one of its very basic use is to represent certain white space characters such as tabs and new lines. So slash n is called the new line character. And what is the purpose of this slash n? You see, whenever this Python encounters this slash n, it effect is to introduce a new line. So for example, if you see here, I have written one print statement that this is the first ball, full stop, slash, and this is the second ball. So whenever this Python encounters this slash and over here, you can see here, the Python encounters slash and over here. Just a minute. Okay. So you see here, this Python encountered slash and over here. By the time it encounters the slash and it breaks the sentence over there, and the remaining sentence will be printed on the next line. Okay, so you can see what is the result. This is the first ball. So by the time it encounters this slash n, so after full stop, this slash n is enabled. So from here, the sentence is going to go into the next line. So that is why its printing is, this is the first ball. So from slash n, it will break, and the remaining sentence, that is this, the second ball, will be printed on the next line. Okay, now you might be surprised to see that there are two separate characters in this slash n, right? One is the slash and the second is n. But still the slash n is regarded, the slash n is still regarded as a single character in Python. So let me tell you how to check that it is a one character only. So you can see here, I have written one variable x and I have stored the slash n as a string. Now when I print this print length of x, you see here I am getting one only. So it means this slash n is not a two character, but rather it is a single character in Python. Now slash t. So the very function of slash n we have understood. Now what this slash t used to do, it introduces a tab. Whenever the Python encounters this slash t, it will introduce a tab over there. So for example, if you see, I have written Rahul slash t drive it. Okay, so by the time the slash t is in backslash t is encountered by the Python, it introduces a tab over here. You can see the tab is over here between Rahul and Dravid. A tab has been activated. So that is the function of the slash t. Now, one very important use of slash is to escape the codes. Uh, So if you remember, while dealing with the string, we told you that a string can be represented either in single or in double quotes, but still to deal with certain situation which includes apostrophe symbol in strings with single quotes. So how we can deal with such situations? So one of the very basic ways to deal those situations with the help of this backslash. So what this actually do is, so here you see, by the time this Python encounters slash t in the string, what it does, it ignores those characters. So this slash backslash is observed before this apostrophe. So this is being ignored. So it is considered as the part of the string, okay, not the closing one. So whenever this slash is encountered before any symbol, like here you can see apostrophe symbol, so it will ignore those characters. Okay, so you can see just because of that, students of engineering, it's printing. Okay, so it has been ignored. This apostrophe symbol has been ignored. So this is one of the important use of this backslash. It is known as the escape character. It escapes the apostrophe over here. Now let us come to the substring. So we know that what is substring. So substring is nothing but the part of a string. Okay. So a string is a substring of another string if the first string is contained in the second. Okay. So if some string is present in the second string, we can say that first string is the part of the second string. For example, if you see here, this string word itself, you see here. So string, I can say that str is a part of this string, right? So we can say that str is nothing but the substring of the word string. Okay. So you can see, for example, bad. Bad is a substring of very bad, because bad is found in this very bad. Whereas very bad is not a substring of very bad, because you see here, this space is not there present over here. So this is not a part of this very bad string. Okay. So exact will be there. So it will be searching for very bad space, then bad. Okay, but here there is no space. And Python provides a keyword which is called as in, which can be used to check if a given string is a substring of another string or not. Okay, so it is a very in operator can be used to check whether a string contained in another string or not. So let me make this a little bit more clear. So you can see I have taken a variable called x and stored the bad string into that. And another, I have taken another variable y, and which is the very bad, very space bad. I have stored in this y. So when I print x in y, so you see bad is contained in this y. Okay, so that's why it is coming as true. X in y, so we are asking whether x is present in y or no. So since bad is present in very bad, it will represent the true. But what if you check otherwise, y in x? So very bad is not present in the bad. Okay, that's why it is giving us the false. Now similarly, you can see I have stored n in x and Sachin in y. Okay, so I printing x not in y means x not in y. Is it true? No, because n, see here, n is present in y here. Okay, so this should reflect true. Is it true? X not in y, is it true? I'm asking x not in y, but x is present over and x is present in y. So that's why it's representing false. Correct? Just try to understand not in operator. It is reverse of in. Okay. Now let us see how this indexing works in string. So as we know that this string is nothing but a sequence of characters. In string, we have a sequence of character, and sequences support indexing. Okay, so we can index it. Now let us see what does it mean. So suppose this word Sachin, I have given a word Sachin, Sachin. So what is the informal way of this letters in this word? What is the informal way of representing the letters in this word? So we can say that S is present. So informal way. So we can say that S is the first letter of the word Sachin, right? This is the informal way, right? Second is this A, C is the third, H is the fourth, I is the fifth, and N is the sixth. So this is the informal way of representing the position of a letter in a word. But formal way, we are index of a character string. Index of a character in the sequence is the formal way. So how indexing is done? So it starts with 0 in Python. Okay, so it's 0, 0th, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So this is the way of indexing. Indexing always starts with 0 in the Python. So you can see that here what I have written is, so given a word Sachin, we say that S is the first letter in the word, right? A is the second, and so on. What we are referring to is position of the letter in the word. So if in this informal sequence, if you see is, I have done nothing but just represented this letter starting from the first. So S is the first position, A is the second position, and so on. Okay. And the index, what we call it as indexing, is just a formal way of denoting the position of element in the sequence. We are doing the same thing. We are just positioning the position of letters in the word. But in indexing, it starts with the 0. So you can see in computer science, starting the index from 0 is a widespread convention. And this is called zero-based numbering. So in indexing, we starts with 0. So okay, so suppose I have given a word over here which contains Sachin. So how we can extract these different letters in the word? Okay, so if you see this word, I have taken the 0. What is 0? 0 is the 0th index. So I have told you this S is the 0th one. This is the first, this is the second, and so on, right? So when you try to encounter this first letter of this word Sachin, what we have to do? We have to write word, this bracket, and this 0. 0 means you want to extract the S. So we get the S. Similarly, if you will put word in bracket 1, we'll get A. Okay, and so on. Now in total, if you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 letters are there in the word Sachin. Okay. So this is what is I have explained you. So that holds a string variable. Word I gives the character at index I in the string. Okay. So given a variable say word that holds a string literal. Here we have stored a string literal. Word I means position. So here I is 0, then 1, then 2. Gives the character at index I in the string. At index I. Remember, at index I. And indexing starts with 0. Informally, this will be the letter at position I plus 1. So since in the informal way, we start with 1. So it will give ith plus 1 position in the informal way of numbering. Okay, now observe the following code. When we put word and in this bracket, we put 6. So you can see what is the error is coming. Index error. String index out of range. So you can see if you here in the word such in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 is the maximum indexing we can do. When you try to figure out, access this word sixth uh, index, sixth index, so it will give you the index error. String index out of range because there is no more word letter in this. There are only 6 letter, and sixth means we are trying to index the 7th letter, and that is not present in the word search. So the length of the string is 6, and since we start the index from 0, the last character will be at index 5. Correct? In total, we have 6 character in Sachin, and we are starting from 0. So anything greater than it is going to throw an error. So if you're trying to access anything that have index greater than 5, it will show an error. Now see what is happening over here. I have written word, then I tried to put here -1 and it is giving n. So this is nothing but the last word if you remember. Word -2. If you see here, this is the second last word in the Sachin. So what is this? This is what is called as the negative indexing. So this is also acceptable in the Python. So Python also supports negative indexing. This can be understood with this example. So I have this word Sachin. So this is a zero-based indexing. So it starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you see, if you start from the back, we can give -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So this is what is called as the negative index. So if you want to extract this n from this Sachin, so you can do word 5 or you can put word -1. Correct? So this is the another way of accessing the last element of the word. Okay. So an index of -1 points to the last element in the sequence. From this, we keep moving backward until we reach the first element in the sequence, which is at index -6. So suppose you want to extract this S from the with the help of negative indexing. So for last will be -1, then it will be -2, -3. This C will be -4, A will be -5, and last will be -6. If you will write word in bracket -6, it will give you the S. Okay, so this is like that. Now let us see how this string slicing works. So slicing, we know that we want to extract some part of the string. Okay, this is what is called as the string slicing. So assume that you have a collection of roll number of students in Presidency University. So let us say the roll number are of this form. So we have roll number of this form, year, branch, and number like this. 2021 ME012, 2021 CS044. So this is the year, this is the year, this is the branch, and this is the roll number. So given a string, we would like to extract the branch of the student from it. So this is the roll number, and we want to extract the branch of the student from this. So how it can be done? So it can be done with the help of this slicing, the string slicing. So let us see how it works. So roll number I have stored here. This roll number is stored in the variable roll number. And if you see this, if I have already told you, this is the 0th position. This is first index, 2, 3, then this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, correct? So this is 0, and this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, this is 4, this is M is 5, and E is 6, right? Okay. So when we're going to write like roll number 5 to 7, remember this 7 is not included, okay, in this. Okay, so if you want to string extract 8th index, you have to go to the 9th one. Okay, so the moment you write roll number 5 to 7, so it will go from 5th index, 6th index. Okay, it start with, this is the start, this is the stop. Okay, so we are starting with 5 and we are going up to 6 because 7th is not included. So this is the 5, this is the 6. M is the 5, E is the 6. So we will get the ME. Okay. So this slicing operator is, have two values like start and stop, and this we can use as a knife in order to extract any particular string from a given string. So we have already shown this. So in terms of indices, this will be 5 and 6. If you want to extract ME, remember we want to extract the position from 5 and 6. So we start slicing at index 5 and stop before the index 7. Before the index 7, it is not included. Okay. So in general, roll number start to stop will be substring starting and index start. It is going to start from here and stopping before the index stop, and it will stop before this. Okay. So that is the character at the index stop will be excluded from the substring. It is not going to be included in that. Okay. So string immutability. What is the meaning of immutability? So in Python, strings are considered as immutable. What does it mean that? So once you have created a string, you cannot change its content. Instead, you can perform operations like concatenation or slicing. But remember, Python creates a new string object with the modified content. When you have modified a string, it will be stored as a new object. It is not going to make changes in the original string. Okay, the original string will remains unchanged. Okay, it is not going to change the original string. So let us see, for example, I have stored this presidency word in a variable called x, and x0, if you try to see, x0 means small p, and we want to change this small p to capital P, right? X0 means we have extracted this small p, and I'm making it equal to capital P. You see, type error is coming. String object does not support item assignment. Okay. So the interpreter throws an type error. When the error message string object does not support item assignment, we say that something is immutable if it can be changed. Therefore, an object is immutable if it cannot be changed or modified. And we know that string cannot be changed. So strings are immutable. We cannot change the content of the string. Now let us see some of the methods that are very useful in the strings. So these are some of the methods that I'm going to explain. There are many others methods. Okay, so string in Python are equipped with a wide range of methods. that allow you to manipulate and work with string data efficiently. Here are some common string methods. So str.upper and str.lower. So by the word itself, it is very clear. Okay. So string.upper will make everything in uppercase. String.lower will make everything in the lowercase. Let us see by example. So this I have explained. Okay. So here, if you see the word, I have put a hello word in this text variable, and I'm just trying to use this text and putting everything in upper. So text.upper will give will make everything in uppercase and it will be stored in upper text. When you print upper text, you see here everything is in bold. Okay, so I've taken text. This text is nothing but this word. Okay, and I'm putting dot upper, means everything will be going to the uppercase. Similarly, text dot lower, you see here, and when you printed lower text, it is printed everything in lowercase. Okay. Now let us see strip methods. So strip removes leading and trailing of white space characters that are present in the string. So if any spaces, white spaces are present in the string, if you just use string dot str dot strip, it will remove the white spaces from the front and from the end as well. Okay. In and L strip, it removes leading white space character. Leading means starting from this starting. If any white spaces are there, it will be removed when you put L strip. So if you use right strip, it will remove the trailing spaces. So after the word, if there is any trailing spaces, it will be removed. So here you can see I have intentionally put white space at the start and at the white spaces at the end also. You see these are the spaces that are present over here in the start and the end also. So both strip will remove. So right. So whenever I use strip, simple strip text, I'm taking this text and I use strip method. So what, and when you print this, I have stored this in the variable both strip. So just to be intuitive. So when I printed both strip, you see here, these spaces as well as these spaces are gone, right? Now, if you use L strip, you see here, the left back white spaces are gone, but this right one is still there. So you see the right one is still there. Why? Because we used L strip. When we use right R strip, you see here, the left one is intact, the right one is gone. Okay. So depending upon the use cases, we want to remove the white spaces from the starting or from the end. So this is very, very handy when you perform this data analysis. So many of the times the data were not cleaned, right? You have some unwanted spaces at the start and at the end of the string. So you want to remove it out. Okay. So you can make use of this strip methods that is available in the Python in order to do that. So what does replace do? There is another method called as string dot replace. Here you are going to give the old string. Here you are going to give the new one. Okay. So let us see how this replace works. So replaces occurrence of the old substring with the new substring. So it will replace the old one with the new one. So here you can see with the example. This is more clear. I have stored a word, hello word, in this text variable. Now from this text variable, I want to replace this hello with, word with hi. So I have taken this. This is the old one. Old one is the hello. Sorry, yes. This old one is the hello over here. Okay, this is the old one. Okay, and I'm replacing with hi. So this is the old one. This is the new one. So what does it means is, go to the text, wherever you find this hello, replace it with hi. Okay, so when you print new text, you see hello is replaced with hi. Now it is hi word in place of hello word. Why? We told that replace everything hello where it comes hello with hi. So that's why it replaced, and when you print this new text, it will print hi word. Now there is another method which is called as str.split method. So what it does? So it splits the string into a list of substring. Remember, it is going to create a list of substring using the specified separator. So this is given by the users. How you want to split those string. Okay, so let us see with the help of example. So suppose here I have given you list. Okay, so this text is consist of this string, which is apple, comma, banana, comma, cherry, right? Here, this is nothing but a string, apple, comma, banana, comma, cherry. Here, I want to split this text. And what is the separator? Comma, right? So whenever it finds comma, before that, everything will be split into list. So you see here, when I print it, it's fruit list, apple, then banana, then cherry. Why? Because it is splits by comma. So whenever it finds comma, this is the first element of this list. So then it goes to read or banana, then it finds this, then it will store at the second element of the list. So like this, with the help of separator, because we don't know what type of separator is used in the string. So depending upon the use cases, so this is also very, very useful in the data cleaning part of the machine learning. Okay, so you want to split any string with separators. Okay, correct. Now, what is this join methods? So this is nothing but, so join the elements of iterable. Remember iterable like list. Why string is called a iterable? We can iterate over string elements of the string. So it's join the elements of an iterable into a single string using the string as a separator. So let us see how it works. So here I have given a list. Remember this list I have given is stored in the text, and I want to join all this member of the list into a single string, and which is separated by comma, right? When you print new text, so it will take apple, then it will put comma, then it will take banana, then it will put comma, then it will take orange, then it will take, right? It will join using this comma. Basically it means then join the text, whatever is stored in the text iterable, and how you have to join it? By putting a comma. Okay. So these are only some common methods. There are many other methods, and that is very, very useful in the strings. Now, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss some set of practice questions, okay, based on what we have learned so far. Remember, we are not going to use the concepts that are going to come in later in the course, but in order to learn the concepts that have already been taught, so try to solve these problems with the help of the concept that has been covered so far only. Okay, we will see this later. Okay, thank you.